In this Fashion Classics, we track the best of Fall 2000 fashions. Find out what it took to update your wardrobe that season. Explore what was favored in beauty for the year 2000. See which movie stars hit the runway and which models grace the silver screen. After fashion's mega mergers, it was a season of newsmaking changes. Models from Brazil, and more. It was definitely a marketing trend for 2000. Celebrities replaced the world's top models on magazine covers.
When you portray an actress on your cover, you can also talk about more things about a movie. You can talk about the houses, you can talk about the lifestyle. So people relate to that, and that's a big factor in selling more when you put an actress on your cover.
They have a greater sense of identification with a celebrity simply because they love them, they want to know more about them, they're interested in their lives. Models they don't know very much about, and they have no real interest in their lives.
Would you rather read about someone who you know, because a lot of girls, they look at celebrities as role models.
I just don't understand sometimes when certain celebrities that have such high profiles do something that a model would only do to make money.
Crossover mania continued on the runways. Cameos included Posh Spice, the new Brat Pack, Lawrence Fishburne, Billy Zane, Stephen Baldwin, and even Kathie Lee Gifford. This two-sided trend had models flexing their acting muscles too. Renee Russo is now one of the world's most sought-after actresses.
The first thing I thought about was Natasha and her clothes, hair, and makeup.
Another model, Heidi Klum, veteran of Victoria's Secret and Sports Illustrated, acted on Spin City alongside actor Michael J. Fox.
I just figured since the Daily News says we were seen eating dinner, we might as well do it.
You know, the Post says we're sleeping together.
Spin City is a new world for me. To do a sitcom with actors, a lot of learning, a lot of homework, a lot of acting coaching.
And in 2000, supermodel Claudia Schiffer launched her acting career. What did fashion insiders think?
So what would you do?
They both like each other, so there seems to be an infatuation between the two.
As long as we're compelled by the person, I think that's what sells things or what keeps us interested.
Today, there's so many things in fashion. I mean, you can really almost wear anything if you have the right attitude.
Designers knew that attitude will only get you so far. One needed the must-have fashion essentials to be wardrobe ready for fall.
The most important thing this season is the return of ladylike dressing.
It wasn't the season to raid your grandmother's closet, because these clothes were far from matronly and very much of the moment.
It's been more about designers revisiting kind of classics, even if it's done in a sort of ironic way and with a twist.
It was like they went to Blockbuster Video and just took out all the 40s movies and just kind of were sketching there and put it out on the runway.
The return of the way we think of dressing in the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s being ladylike.
This return of elegance, which of course women are really demanding now. They want to look great, they want to look sophisticated.
Is it the 80s? I ask myself that.
The flashback to the 80s meant glitz at its most glamorous, ranging from big hair to big shoulders.
One of the biggest trends, and that will carry on being a trend for a while, is the influence of the 80s. The skinny pant, the shoulder pad.
Then we get to the flashy stuff, which is anything that's gilt, anything encrusted. Everyone's done sequins, metallics, a lot of glam, a lot of glitter.
It's coming back in a big way.
Whether it was lusciously luxe or decidedly demure, it was time to settle yourself into a suit.
A new suit would be great, the short fitted jacket, preferably with skirts.
The blouse is in the house. We very much believe in blouses.
The ultimate in separate appeal, the blouse.
We like to call it the blouse man, kind of arrived in fashion. And there were a lot of neckties, a lot of chiffon.
Satin scarf print blouses are everywhere.
prints are so big this season, and really bold, splashy prints, and nearly every designer had some kind of variation on bold color or punchy prints.
Gone were the days of understatement. These bold graphic prints were the statement.
With a strong print, most people will be able to wear an element of it. I would definitely not suggest that one wears it top to toe.
I don't think prints are hard to wear. I think they're fun to wear. I think people want to wear fun clothing. It's been so monochromatic for so long, and I think that people are really embracing prints. Coats. Everybody has to have a fresh coat this season.
The coat took center stage for fall.
A lot of coats are either wrapped, like crisscross with the belt, or they're cut right at the waist.
There's lots and lots of leathers everywhere.
The skinny on skins, they came in every shape, color, and texture.
The leather pant is back. It's never looked better.
If there was one must-have, it's got to be the floor-length maxi leather coat. Absolutely beautiful.
We love leather in all of its forms and all of its colors.
This fall, it's going to be all-out color.
The panacea for conquering the winter doldrums cashed in on Crayola color.
Every woman has to get ready for is color in her closet.
It's so important to add a little bit of color into your wardrobe, and I think that's what's going to update your look completely. If you're going to invest in one color, it should be something in the red family.
There's tons and tons and tons of clothes. It's been a really great season.
Yes, I love black. It's a grounding.
Defined as the absorption of every color, the non-color black lends itself to many interpretations, from elegant and seductive to powerful and rebellious. For fall 2000, the runway saw an abundance of black, which highlighted the contrast of its colorful counterparts.
It's not really a color, it's just a thing, really.
I feel like my mainstay, my whole business has been like the little black dress.
The history of this iconic non-color was explored by the graduate students at the Fashion Institute of Technology in an exhibition entitled The Little Black Dress and Other Signs of Status.
Black's been used for at least 500 years, if not longer, and natural pigments like coal were rubbed on textiles to make the textiles look black. With the Industrial Revolution, cities got dirty. People really wanted to conceal the dirt. Morning dress is a good example of something that is demonstrating a lot of different things at the same time. It's a kind of status symbol because it's expensive, but it also showed that she's available to be remarried.
Nuns took on black garments, mimicking women in mourning, because at the time, around the 17th century, women who were widows were not bothered. They could walk freely.
The first tuxedo grew out of someone wearing what was essentially a smoking jacket in Tuxedo Park, which is a wealthy suburb of New York. And someone wore it to the club there and started the new style. This is a Balenciaga dress, and it's in the exhibition because it's representing the little black dress. There's actually some debate about when the little black dress as we know it was invented. Some people think it was invented by Paul Poiret. Others think it wasn't until Coco Chanel. The story is that she started wearing black because she was in mourning for some relationship. It's retained a lot of meaning for people through so many centuries that it continues to be important.
It's about individuality and expressing yourself and really not adhering to any sort of code that someone else sets for you.
Glamorous hair and makeup were paramount to finishing off fall's look.
It's really about enjoying it, enjoying the different palettes, enjoying wearing neutrals, but then also knowing that you can cross into colors.
Strong eyes, makeup, glam, sophistication.
Strong lips and eyes were the cat's meow at Terry Mugler.
Big dark eyes, the shape of the shadow was really graphic.
Dramatic eyes ruled the runways.
Very sexy, heavy black liner, defined in the eyes. Some upcoming trends. I think platinum is going to be a big thing. White and platinum eyeshadow.
A bit of transparent lip gloss. On the eyes, it's silver on the top, gold under, and a bit of shimmer there. So it's a bit like a kaleidoscope, you know.
There was a return to the healthy, rosy cheek.
Cheek, small amount of rose on the cheekbone, a little bit of taupe on top of the cheeks, and then taupe in the cheekbones.
Hairstylists took the Pony Express, proving ponytails were polished, low maintenance.
We're doing a low ponytail with a bit of volume in the back, and it's mostly about the texture, which is sort of made to look like if the girl has naturally wavy hair.
I'm using a mix of things. I start with some Lazartigue products to just get a nice nutritional thing going on, like a treatment. And then I move into some physique. It's called contouring lotion. I don't want to get rid of all of her frizz, but I am trying to make it look a little nicer.
Easy cuts meant that many opted for going shorter in 2000.
People are going a little shorter. It's a little after the shoulder. As an overall, most of the hair is looking really luxurious. The quality hair is back as opposed to tortured hair.
Shorter hair is going to be what it is. The haircut dictates it. I call it a poor boy because it's by boy girl, you know what I mean?
I just think it's the best time for beauty right now. All factions of beauty, everything. It's exciting.
After coffee, the South American import to get your heart racing, Brazilian models.
The hottest girls right now are the Brazilians.
One girl after another shows up and she's absolutely beautiful, walks like a dream.
I love the Brazilian girls. They're so much fun. They've got no bad attitudes and they love to dance.
They just love the Brazilian girls because they move her hips. You know.
Every time I get to the show, there's 2 or 3 more Brazilian girls. I think the Brazilian now it's coming, you know, like they're studying like everything.
A curvaceous teenager named Gisele Bündchen started the Brazilian Blitz. She single-handedly got designers to lift the embargo on décolletage. And in doing so, she commandeered every runway and newsstand and never looked back. Brazil, like the United States, is a melting pot, and this is reflected in the country's beautifully diverse faces. The latest faces in modeling's Brazilian brigade epitomize just that.
I really love runways. I mean, I still even feel like that cold in my belly, you know. I'm really, really nervous just before entering, but it's really nice.
She's really, really great. Going to be a huge star. She has the best Barbra Streisand nose.
It's really getting away from that cookie cutter, perfect, beautiful, perfect nose, perfect eyes.
You have to do your job the best that you can do. And it's not an easy job, but it's not a bad one. You can't complain about anything. I love everything about modeling, you know? I love to shoot, but I love runway. This year I started to work in Paris and Milano, and it was good. This year is it's starting to be good. When I was 10 years old, I was asking my mom, I want to be a model.
I'm having fun. It's nice knowing new places. I'm trying to do not plan anything, then I don't get disappointed. I just wait to see what happens. But I want to be a doctor after all.
I feel good because, I mean, you all know each other from Brazil already, so it's like all friends. So it's good though. Each season is more and more Brazilian girls.
We all know each other from Brazil because we do the shows there. We feel at home. It's nice.
The season's biggest news. After her tumultuous merger with Prada, Jil Sander resigned from her own house after 30 years. Then Yves Saint Laurent designer Albert Elbaz was replaced by Tom Ford when the Gucci group bought the French luxury house.
Well, I'm very, very excited. I'm, as you know, the creative director now of Yves Saint Laurent as well as of Gucci, and I'm going to continue designing the collections at Gucci, but I'll also be very involved at Yves Saint Laurent.
After their turnaround of the Gucci brand, De Soleil and Ford had their sights set on expansion.
I never met or heard of a company that doesn't have a great strategy.
We're both very driven, we're both very quick to make decisions, and we trust each other.
Obviously, we're going to a multi-brand strategy, and basically, we talk about it all the time.
Yves Saint Laurent is one of my all-time favorites, influenced my career and influenced my mind and the way I think.
All my life long, I thought it's really important to give women confidence and the freeness and make them beautiful.
After only a 5-month partnership between designer Jil Sander and Prada's chief executive Patrizio Bertelli, Sander resigned from her label over creative disputes. The fall season would be her last.
I don't think it was a clever move on her part.
Sander will always be known for her minimalist vision and precise craftsmanship. For many, her farewell collection was her most provocative.
I maybe always was very, very able to understand women who want to be more loose, more free, more themselves. I always thought I wanted to support that.
In her last words to the press, Sander thanked her devoted clients.
There's lots of really great clothes, but the key thing of the entire season is all the accessories.
In the world of accessories, the old adage, less is more, didn't apply for fall 2000.
Accessories are back in a big way. There are so many seasons where we didn't see any accessories, and now we see them everywhere.
How gorgeous to rush out and be able to buy new handbags and new bracelets and new sunglasses and new everything. It's all change.
I think designers are inspired by the opulence of 80s accessories.
The 80s were back with bold jewelry, sultry stilettos, Studio 54 head wraps, and suggestive belting.
The ladylike dressing movement is head to toe, so it's pearls. Diamonds were everywhere.
We've done a lot of belts with buckles. It's really about the belt and the shoe this season.
The high heel pump, it's coming back in a big way. Bags, 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 purses galore.
The shape of the bag are like a little bit like a small piece of luggage.
Handbags are a little bit longer, not really worn tucked up under your arm, but a little bit longer. Chains are very important on the handbags.
I think women are going to be very happy to find that they're going to get all kinds of pantyhose again. We're going to be warm. Our legs will be warm again because pantyhose in all different colors is being shown with everything.
The key piece of the season, which I think everybody is going to be copying, is the beautiful detachable little fur collar that ties in front, which was really, really beautiful.
Necklaces, earrings, structured handbags, high-heeled shoes, fur boas, fur collars. It's going to be a great season for accessories.
So, go out, pile it on, do your own thing is my advice.
What made headlines in 2000? Apart from favored silhouettes or the predominance of certain colors, were several collections and events that got the fashion crowd thinking. PETA protests in New York had many pondering the ramifications of endorsing fur. Michael Kors, Oscar de la Renta, and Randolph Duke were three designers that protesters targeted. Mustard, cream pies, and paint were the tools of choice.
I don't mind people demonstrating and getting their message out, but to disrupt a show.
Fashion is supposed to be fun, and there's nothing fun about ripping the skins off animals' backs for a vanity item.
I've never seen so much fur in New York City, especially at the collections. Almost every designer showed something fur.
It's time for these people to wake up and put compassion back into fashion.
Fall also proved triumphant for a handful of designers that brought clothing beyond the feel-good factor of fashion.
I kind of work in a very evolutionary way, that, one thing for me leads to another.
The Turkish Cypriot designer Şalayan further defined himself as a thinking man's designer in 2000.
It's just more interesting for people to interpret, visual propositions like that. The whole idea of the relationship of the body to space, for me, is interesting.
Inside and mooded feeling is very, very love, happy, but looks so serious.
A deceivingly spirited collection for fall by Masaki Matsushima underscored this Japanese designer's ability to render garments alive.
I think John Galliano is obviously a genius. He has a wonderful, inspirational mind.
John Galliano's kaleidoscopic karma always reigns in Paris. In a collection he described as ode to a former innocence, he produced the ultimate in romper room revival.
I think it was also a commentary that John was saying that we've gone too far with kind of ladylike dressing.
I mean, I'm always making believe and making up stories in my mind, in my head. I find it adds a richness to the clothes to have a personality or a life.
Regardless of how these designers did at retail, as individuals, they kept fashion on a provocative and lively train towards the future.